Well, I have no idea whether or not I'm live right now, and I'm trying to figure it out. Our laptop was not charged, therefore I can't use it, and I have to use my wife's phone to look at comments and stuff like that. It's not really going too hot. Whew, unlike this fire, which, has already smoldered me. Let's see. Here we go. Alright guys, it says we got 4 watching, so thank you for everybody watching. Alright, gotta turn my volume off here. And we will get right to it. Good evening to Canada from America. What's up, Mike? Alright guys, so first off, Friday nights with Jake. I do realize it's not Friday, but we weren't able to do this yesterday. So, we're doing it today. So there you go. I'm going to start off this video with the Lt Wright Genesis giveaway. I'm hoping that a lot of people are going to be checking out this video for that reason. So, this Lt Wright Genesis Scandi Ground 01 tool steel. First off, I'd like to thank his Survival for putting together Operation Survival, for having us on it, and for getting this contact with Lt Wright. I appreciate it, Gabe. What's up, Steven? So, to win this knife, what you have to do is you have to watch my Season 2 Operation Survival videos. There will be 2 of them, and you have to comment on both of them. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick one person out of the first video. I'll probably number all of them, stick it in a random number generator at a later date. I don't know the date yet. And then I will pick a winner, and then that winner I'll check and see if he commented on the second video, because you have to comment on both in order to win. So that is how you can win. Now, in the past, you had to comment on every channel's video, so that would be Irish Zombie Nation, his Survival, and I believe Junkyard Fox. That's going to be a little bit too complicated this time, I think, but it would behoove you to watch the other channels' Operation Survival from Season 2 as well, because they have knives to give away as well. So check out all of the Season 2 of Operation Survival. It's going to be well worth your time. It should be entertaining. And you can win some awesome stuff. I don't have a huge subscriber base, so your chances of winning this knife are pretty doggone good. Alright, so let's see here. Yep, I am giving it away, and I can't wait. Let's see here. No Way Home Survival, good evening. It's going well. Yes, R.I.P. mustache. I did shave my face, guys. I just didn't know what to do with it. Like, I was getting, like, my mustache hairs in my mouth when I was eating and stuff, and I thought about trimming it, but if I trimmed it, I'd probably just screw it up, so I'm baby-faced. AG Survival, good to have you back. Alright, guys, so this week for Friday Nights with Jake, I'll probably just be pretty much shooting from the hip. We can talk about whatever you guys want to talk about. I'm going to start out with one thing that I just discovered and is now not in my pocket. It was in my pocket, but I rushed out here to do this video and I forgot it. I got this Exotac fire starter. I actually started this fire with it. I'm going to post a video on my Instagram page. I actually just got a bunch of stuff from Exotac. One of my contacts and friends hooked me up with them from SHOT Show, and so they sent me a little promotional package. And I'm sitting here wondering where they've been my whole life. Like, how have I not ran into Exotac stuff? So it's all made in America, and what I started this fire with, it's this little thing, and it's got a rolling striker like a lighter. And on the inside, you can have one of their cotton pieces of tinder. Man, it was easy. Like, Mariah could do it. No questions, easy. And then what's really cool about their ferro rod is their ferro rod, the handle is hollow, so you can put tinder in there, and then the ferro piece itself is replaceable. That's genius. That's just freaking, that's on the money. So that is a winner chicken dinner. And I don't know why it's taken me this long to figure it out. All my friends all have used Exotac stuff. Dave Puzon and anybody who's cool. It's cool stuff. If you guys haven't checked out Exotac, make sure to do that. All right. Jim Allen. I'll take all the beard tips that I can get. I think the biggest problem, though, my dad told me that I will never be able to grow a beard. None of us can. And so I don't know if I'm going to get around that. I might need to get, like, some hair, whatever you call it, when you stick hair things in your head. I might have to do that on my face to actually get a beard. Van Life, you asked me about the DD tarps. You're going to have to elaborate a little bit more. I'm not exactly sure. Maybe you'll remind me and I'll just remember. I might just be having a brain fart, but I can't think of what exactly you're talking about. No Way Home Survival, I am doing great. So, let's see. What's up, Mr. Nava? So, yeah, like, I guess we're still talking about the beard. You know, in high school, I was in JROTC, so I always stayed shaved. In the Army, I always stayed shaved. Not that I really needed to, because I didn't really grow a whole lot. And I can basically, you know, just dry shave, because if I shave every day, because I don't grow that much hair, so it's easy peasy. So yeah, I never learned anything about how to keep it up or any of that, and it's not really in the family, so I didn't have that to be passed down to me. So let's see, Red Gat, good to have you, buddy. The DD tarps that are made in Great Britain, they make a hammock called the Frontline XL, and the only ones that have the patented multicam for their 4x4. Alright, yeah, I'm not familiar with the DD tarps at all, so I really can't give you any input on that, but I'll check it out. That sounds interesting. Let's see. Beard Brand from Mike Bryant, the Beard Man. I will check that out. I can't believe that this fire is cooking me out. Like, it's ridiculous. 8 degrees in Maine. So here, right now I think it's like 34 degrees probably, somewhere in that range. And this fire is like 3,000 degrees, so I'm being cooked. That's alright, it'll calm down. Zach, glad to have you for the live feed, bud. AG Survival just mentioned AquaQuest tarps. One of my subscribers and a friend of mine actually sent me AquaQuest, I believe the Defender, and that's what you've seen in the backdrop of a lot of my videos. I'm building a bushcraft camp back there, and I'll be using that as like a permanent tarp. But it rained, and then it snowed, and it froze, and I had like probably 100 pounds of ice on that tarp, sagging it down because it didn't have any support. 0 damage, 0 thread problems, 0 leaking. It's been up there for over a month. AquaQuest tarps, thumbs up, guys. They are legit. JD Grayman, thank you for watching. I can't have birds in the house, so I don't envy you. They always want to attack me, man. They're loud. I can't deal with it. And then they want to bite me. Not a bird guy. Just chickens. Yeah, man, the Czech parka. As you guys might know, this Czech parka I got from varustaleka.com. And one of the first things I did with it was I'm not used to wearing a large parka like this. And I was new to carrying my Glock 17. So I got my gloves and I got all of this winter gear on and I practiced my draw with it. And the first thing I did, I just had it zipped. I didn't have it buttoned. And I just ripped the zipper right off of this thing, getting my draw out. But I think it was 25 bucks, and it's warm as crap, super thick, super heavy. My jacket at this point looks like crap, like the back's all covered in mud and stuff. But it's $25, and it's my adventure jacket, so I don't care. And it's just, even though I broke it, it is perfect. It's an awesome piece of gear. Guineas. Guineas are terrible. I don't like them. They're loud. They're mean. Even as little chicks, they're mean. And they love getting ran over. It's like everybody that I know has guineas either has to stay on top of them getting broody and having little baby guineas, or has to buy them every single year because they just want to go get ran over by cars. And I live right on a road. My chickens are smart as crap. I'm telling you, they're smarter than I give them credit for, or anybody else. They're not getting ran over. Those guineas, I don't know what it is that attracts guinea hens to the road like a magnet, but they do. All right, the Ilbe Backpack. The Ilbe is freaking phenomenal for a winter pack. It's heavy, but it's well designed, it's well padded. You can find them cheap. They're actually made by a super premium company, Acertex or whatever. And, but the thing is, like, you have to be loading out a lot of stuff to make them worth it. So it's not your bushcraft overnighter in the summer, spring, or fall pack. But if you need a big pack, the Ilbe is the way to go. And it is worlds better than a Molly pack if you have a really big load. Now the Molly pack is a little bit more flexible if you've got to go with a big load or a small load. You can really get that Molly pack cinched up so you only use a small portion of it pretty easy. Not so much with the Ilbe, so it is a little bit of give and take there. I didn't know that guinea hens were from Africa. I thought they were from France. Oh, that's interesting. The Filbe, I've heard mixed reviews on, but I don't have experience with that. But I guess they basically took the Ilbe and moved the waist pad down or up so it wouldn't get in the way of your mags or something. Kind of interesting. Thanks, Van Life. I appreciate it, man. It means a lot. You know, I've got less than 5,000 subscribers on this channel, and I've been at it for like 2 years, and that's way behind probably where I should be if I was doing everything right. And I know that there's a lot of reasons for that that come straight down to who I am. But I enjoy doing YouTube, so no matter how many subscribers I have, I'm just going to keep doing it and telling the truth. And manufacturers are terrified of that. So as long as I keep growing steadily, people that want to lie and take advantage of others and push false reviews out on people, they better watch out, because I'll call them out. I don't care. I don't care if you try and befriend me. I don't care what you do. Like, I'm gonna call you out. So that's how I'm gonna do it. Appreciate you, Hunter, and thank you for watching. So Van life, I might set up a Patreon, and if I do that, I will try and make some more private content that's special for Patreon supporters. And I've actually had quite a few subscribers request that. I almost feel kind of like morally like I shouldn't do it. But at the same time, I go out and I buy a lot of 2x4s and I buy a lot of stuff to bring good content and stuff. It would really help me to put out the content that I wanted, and it might help my subscribers or Patreon supporters help me show what they want to see. So I will look into Patreon honestly this week, and I'll let everybody know if I end up going that route. And I really appreciate you bringing it up, man. Mr. Nava, please stay safe. It's late for a 3-hour drive, especially if you've already been on the road. Speaking of long drives, I need to make it to Canada, and Blade Show's coming up in June. Are any of you guys going to be at Blade Show? That would be really cool. Up north, glad to have you. I am doing well. Like Mr. De La Cruz said here, and Mr. De La Cruz, I know your name, but my brain's not working, and so I'm going to keep it at that. But yeah, the other thing, if you want to support the channel, you can buy stuff from beachandtactical.com. It's my personal business. And so then what that allows us to do is, you support my business. It helps me put food on the table, and it keeps me busy. And I really need to grow my business. So I'm finishing my college. I'll be graduating next week with my bachelor's degree. I'm getting paid to do that through the GI Bill. It's supplementing our income. And then I do Beach and Tactical, and my wife works as well. So we're about to have an income drop coming up here pretty soon. And I think I've figured out ways to get Beach and Tactical off the ground and let people know that I make some cool products. But, we'll just have to see, and I'll probably have to pick up a second job. But yeah, that's probably the best way to support this channel, is to buy something from beachandtactical.com. I've got everything from $10 up. And, but regardless, Patreon could be a good way to go too, because then you can put forth money and expect something in return and ask something in return above and beyond YouTube. So I guess I should probably do both. AG Survival, that's kind of the problem, man, is in every single video almost I wear a Beach and Tactical shirt. The outro of my videos all have Beach and Tactical, because I was having a moral dilemma with whether or not I could advertise myself. Well, that kind of changed with the whole socialist, communist, fascist YouTube deal, where I'm turning off all monetization, besides which they were monetizing like a Hillary Clinton campaign on my channel at one point. And then I thought, you know what? If there's going to be a commercial in my video, I might as well be advertising my product. And what that does is I can still review all of these products. There'll be no question of whether or not my reviews are honest. And at the same time, support my business. So I should be advertising myself, I think. And I've been a failure at doing that, but I'm real close to getting that off the ground. So let's see. I can throw some, let's see, I'll throw some links in the comment section right now. It's just beachandtactical.com. Obviously, this will go away after I get off of the live feed, and then I'll put it in a comment down there. My last video, I actually did my first little intro commercial but what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and get my little monetization down to about 5 seconds ideally, which is going to have to show me shooting guns, doing survival stuff, and telling people what I do in 5 seconds. So I'll have to be creative, but that's what I want to do. Let's see. So one of the things I'm really excited about, guys, I haven't advertised it yet. I have a new E&E or sear pouch, and I might have to work on, I don't know. It's really hard because I'm not making them. So I designed them, I started making them, and I felt that my quality wasn't where I wanted it to be. Well, I've got this buddy in Ohio who runs Gadsden Dynamics, and everybody should check him out. And his quality is really, really good. And so I had him make them for me. Did a phenomenal job. I'll be getting all kinds of pictures up next week. But since he's making them for me, that makes price points and stuff difficult. So I've got some thinking to do on that. And then I sell fire kits and a few other things, lanyards and belt lanyards and key rings and all kinds of stuff. But my main seller is a rifle sling. I designed a rifle sling when I was in Afghanistan. It's completely unique. I make all of them. And man, it's the most customizable sling color-wise on the planet. And they're made to order. So when somebody orders a sling from me, they pick every color of everything they want, and I make it. So sometimes it takes a little while, depending on how busy I am, especially in like November. But yeah, it's really been an incredible journey. I've been doing that for about 2 years. So van life, I appreciate it, man. The shirts, I wait until I get about 10 of them sold. So if you want to order, just understand that there could be a wait of 1 to 2 months. I'm going to start advertising them more, and I'm going to start getting more shirts on there and then building up some in-stock stores as well. So just be advised, I don't have shirts on hand. They are a pre-order. Later Gator, I have a few hatchet videos on the, I believe I've got videos on the, I know I've got videos on the Council Tool Pack Axe with a 19-inch handle. I've got videos on the Council Tool Pack Axe with a 24-inch handle, and I believe I've got videos on the Council Tool Saddle Axe and the Velvet Cut Belt Hatchet. I love Council Tool, I mean big time. I also have a video on the Gransford Brooks Small Forest Axe, and it's a phenomenal axe, but I need to wrap it up with that because it just doesn't do it for me like the Council Tool ones do. It's really good compared to just about anything else in the market, but the edge is a little bit wide. I wish they had a little bit thinner edge on there. So, let's see. I do have some promotional codes, and I think maybe what I'll do also in my intros is I'll list all of my promotional codes, but I've got promotional codes for military, law enforcement, for tactical response alumni, I believe for the Dark Timber Brotherhood, for a few other things. A few people are supposed to be brand ambassadors for me, and they have their own promotional codes. I'll make sure to get those out to you guys. Yeah, oh, I'm so excited about the Baldric Sling. That's going to be a game changer. So, Joshua Templeton, that's a great idea. I've been wanting to do it for a long time, but the pellet gun that I really like and would like to get, I think is just at $100, maybe a little bit more. And every time I have $100, it just goes to something else. You know, money's tight in, like for anybody. So it's just all about priorities, I guess. So it's been hard to do. Yeah, later Gator. Council tool, depending on what size you want, they're about to come out with another axe, the Camp Carver. And what they're doing that's really unique to me is, first off, you have a hardened pole. And what that means is the back side of the axe that you would use as a hammer on most axes is soft. So if you hit metal with it or rocks or something hard, or if you're really banging on it, it'll mushroom, it'll dent, it'll warp, all kinds of stuff. And it could even ruin the eye and break the axe. The council tools are hardened. And the grants for Brooks are not hardened. Nobody else is really hardened hardly. And I think that's a big deal. And then the other thing that they do, they're using 5160, which us knife people are all familiar with as being a bomb-proof steel. And they put a thin edge on their axes that's flat. It's really easy to sharpen, and it's really, really efficient. So it really, I think, has set them apart. I think it's the highest quality axe manufacturer on the market today. I am like a die-hard believer in Council Tool. They have yet to let me down. Now, you guys know that if they did let me down, I'd let you know. Hey, this axe broke, whatever. I've got to keep it honest. And if Council Tool did something crazy, like came out and said that they hate America and were moving their stuff to China, yeah, I'm gone. But as it stands, Council has done nothing but impress me over and over and over again. I love working with those guys. All right, and I appreciate it, Mr. Russell. That means a lot. And yes, Council Tool, America taking back the axe. America has the manufacturing and societal capability to make the best anything that can be made. We have the ability to make the fastest cars, the freaking most powerful engines, the most reliable diesels. We have the ability to make the cheapest goods at the highest quality level. But Americans have to want to buy it. They have to care. And so as more and more American manufacturers shut down because the government is heavily taxing American industry and while at the same time lowering tariffs for importing, they're basically pushing American manufacture out of America, and American factories that are in America can't continue to exist because nobody buys their stuff because nobody cares. So, like, I'm getting into mountain biking here. There's, there's this little part called a gooseneck or a stem. And if you're looking at a premium stem for your mountain bike or BMX bike, you can get the China or Taiwan manufacturer one, which is good quality, no doubt, for about $60, $60 to $65. The Made in America one is $70. Nobody buys them. They don't sell. The companies disappear. The only reason it's $5 more expensive is because our own government is screwing them over and hiking up the taxes, especially since a lot of these companies came from California when California was really well off, and they are just screwing manufacturers in California. So it's just like a violent cycle of stupidity, and what we're doing by moving all this manufacture overseas and by saving $5 on something is we are having a short moment of satisfaction on saving an inconsequential amount of money while possibly putting the quality of what we're purchasing on the line at the expense of our children. So, man, I spent $5 less. It might break, but it might not break. This is really cool. And then over the period of time that you use whatever that product is, maybe 50 years, you'll never remember that $5, but you helped put that factory out of business, and now your children are living off of a welfare state, in a dead country. Like, it's incredible. And I feel like I'm the last guy on the planet that cares about this, that's my age. And it's crazy. Like, my refrigerator, found one made in America. Frigidaire, right on the front of it, made in America. Microwave, made in America. Freaking, I don't know, man. My wheelbarrow, so there are, like, shovels at Lowe's, they're premium shovels, say, made in America out of U.S. and foreign parts. Well, on some of them you'll look at the head, and some of the heads will have stamped China on them, and some of them on the heads will have stamped USA. I will sit there, and I will go through every single shovel until I find an American one, or I'll leave. Does what I do help the economy? Not really. But if everybody in America cared about buying an American-made product and everybody did that, all this import crap would disappear and we'd have a freaking economy of producers. I don't get it. I haven't even looked at the comments. I've been talking too long. Okay. Van Life. Holtefors, I think, does make quality stuff. I know a lot of people that thin down the cheeks a bit. For me to recommend an axe to you, I need to know a little bit more information. So are you looking for an axe for the homestead, or for felling trees, or for putting in a pack, or a really small axe for a trap line? For me to recommend an axe, I need a little bit more information, but absolutely, I would love to help with it, so just let me know. Yeah, so our economy is being slowly deregulated, thank the Lord, and so hopefully we can not only regain more affordable American manufacture, but maybe we can also regain some pride in ownership and pride in manufacture. So my father-in-law works in a factory as a manager or a supervisor, and he's getting screwed on health care. But like 8 out of 10 of the people that work in that factory are shipped here on boats. They've got no visa, no immigration paperwork. I don't know who's bringing them there. They all get free health care. I'm pretty sure they're being put in free housing. They don't even know the names of roads. All they know is how to get from their housing to the factory. And it's rampant. My wife works in the hospital taking pictures of newborns. Well, freaking 1 in 3 of those children is an illegal immigrant that doesn't know how to speak English. And I'm not talking about Mexican. I'm talking about Swahili and the entire gamut. How are these people getting here? Who's bringing them here? What's the agenda? Where's the money to follow? Because the American public's being lied to about everything. So my father-in-law, who has like 5, 6, or 7 daughters, is paying something astronomical, like, I don't know, $1,000, $2,000 a month on health insurance, even though he's probably only making $50 to $60 a year. And then there's like a $2,000 deductible. They can only use it for certain things. So my sister-in-law had to go get checked up for some stomach pain. They did an MRI on her, and it was $16,000. This is not capitalism. The socialists are like, oh, I have no medical bill. This is not capitalist. This is a socialist healthcare system that still has some little capitalist strings to screw you over harder. This is crony capitalism. This is socialists using a capitalist system through politics, which is what the people have wanted. They've been begging for this, using politics to enforce mandatory use of their private product. It's absolutely stupid. America's had universal health care since 1989. And yet, every ignorant, uneducated person on the planet is out here screaming for universal health care so that they can continue to pay more and more and more money and get less. It's just astronomical. Appreciate AG Survival. Hope you have a good night, buddy. Yeah, American manufactured is where it's at. Okay, back to the hatchet. A small hatchet that you can put in the molly of your backpack. I don't know of a lot of hatchets that come with molly-ready sheaths. I know that can be done. One thing that I'd probably look at for a really small, easy-to-pack hatchet would be the Council Tool Velvet Cut belt axe. It's 1 1/4 pound head. You can do some good chopping with it, but it's so small you can also use it as a carving axe. But if you want to step up in axe power, my favorite axe on the planet right now is the Council Tool pack axe with a 24-inch handle. The balance is just incredible. It's a 2-pound head. You can do a little bit of anything and everything with that axe. It's an absolute sweetheart. Easy. It's easy for me to recommend that axe. If you can handle a 24-inch handle, about that long, if you can put that on your pack, do it. It's the best. Jeff Smith, the Husqvarna, I hear a lot of good stuff about those axes. I've also heard a couple people have issues with them, but all in all, I think for the money, they're probably a great axe. I think the people that use them the most and use them the hardest usually thin out the cheeks, and it makes them a lot better, I think. Joe, glad to have you, bud. All right. Van life. I'm missing a little bit of what you're talking about here. The Council 20 horsepower, 8-pound number. If you can retype that for me, I can give you better advice on that. Pack hatchet. AG Survival, yeah, the Council Tool pack axe is phenomenal with a 19-inch handle. It packs a whole lot of power in a small package. On the flip side, it can feel very head heavy. So it's like the most amount of power in the small space you can get. Definitely use it with 2 hands. It's a great little axe. But Council's coming out with the Camp Carver, which is going to have a 26-ounce head, so roughly just a little over 1.5 pounds. So, let's see here. I'm going to throw some wood on the fire just to get some light. Man, this thing's hot. Golly, it's hot. Can't believe it. Okay. All right. Let's see here. Clayton, yeah, I need to get the Council Tool Boys axe. Why don't I have one? It's just stupid of me. Like, every man should have a boys axe. It's like a rule written somewhere. I don't know where it's written, but it's there. Mike, appreciate you being here, bud. Thank you for stopping by, and I look forward to having you in the next live feed, hopefully. Andre, will do, bud. Thank you for being here, and I will talk to you next time, man. I like S-Wing axes, Wild Canadian Outdoors. So the S-Wings are a little bit different for me personally. I had one. So a couple thoughts on it. The weight distribution is a little bit different with the full tang. Typically, the cheeks are a little bit fatter, so a little bit thicker edge, and it's a little bit soft, so you have to touch up the edge quite a bit, especially if you thin it out. But they are classic, and if you take a little bit of care of them, they can last for generations. They are neat. I just don't feel they're as efficient as what I normally like, weight distribution wise and edge wise. So I think it's incredible that they're American made and that they're on department store shelves everywhere. All the power to them. Cheers from Italy. Good to have you, bud. So let's see here. Okay. So the 2-pound Hudson Bay Camp Axe with 18-inch curved handle for $40. Okay, so yeah, where's the liquor.com? So Council has a few different lines. They've got their premium line, which is velvet cut and woodcraft. And right now they've got their user line. And the Hudson Bay that you're talking about is in the user line. And what that means, I think it's a phenomenal value. You're probably going to want to thin the edges just a little bit, sharpen it, roosterize it, strip the paint off of it, and do a coat of blow on the handle. If you take care of it, it'll take care of you. If the head ended up coming loose, I think you could rehang it. So they're not as pretty as the premium lines, and they don't come quite as touched up. The finishes on them aren't quite as good. So I've got one that I love that all the lines aren't necessarily crisp. You know what I mean? It's a little bit different. The bevel on the top's a little bit different on one side than the other. I'm saying this not on the cutting edge, but on like the top of the axe. So it's visually imperfect in a way that might bother some people. But on the other side of that, what you're getting is you're paying the same price as a department store axe. It might not look as nice as that department store axe, which they typically have perfect fit and finish, but you're getting way, way more quality. You can have a thinner edge, you can keep it sharper, it'll hold an edge longer, it'll be tougher, way more quality. So it's kind of a weird little trade-off for me, because I'm going to use the axe, I'm going to use it quite a bit, and I'm going to notice if it's not good, it's 1,000% worth it. And I'm looking to pick up more of Council's user-grade axes, because they're just a phenomenal deal. So I would say buy with confidence, no question. Jim Allen. Okay, I'll back up. Joshua Templeton. The weather is wonderful. I think it's like 34 degrees maybe. Might be below freezing, I don't know. But I've got a little bit of winter left, and I'm loving it. All right, so the Collins legitimate line of axes was great. I've got a Collins that wasn't legitimate, but they are wonderful, and I love old classic axes. I'm working on a plum right now. So if you want to get a sheath that's Molly compatible, check out Dave Puzon, Positive Made Leathercraft. He's my go-to guy for leather, and he's a user. So what you get from him is custom products that make sense because he would actually use them and understands what's needed. Great guy. Andy's a military veteran as well from the Army. And basically, if I get leather, it comes from Dave Puzon. I'm waiting on a sheath from him right now. So he's the man. Hey, Tim. Glad to have you, bud. All right, so the Hungless 2 or the Kukri House Thamel. Now, Kukri House Thamel is a kukri manufacturer, so they have a lot of different kukris. Which would I choose? It's a really hard question. I've got to go with the SE Hungless 2. A lot of the Nepalese knives are really high quality. Kukri House Thamel is a lifetime warranty, and they'll stand behind their product. So if you break it, they'll send you another one. But they cannot And the knives are almost indestructible. A lot of them are almost half an inch thick. But they cannot do a heat treat there like Rowan can for Essie. I feel like your chances if you buy an SE2 of the knife being essentially perfect on heat treat is like 99%. Kukri House the Mel, kukris are a little bit, traditional kukris are a little bit different. They take some getting used to, and they just work a little bit different. That's a really hard question, and it's kind of hard to quantify like what I'm trying to say. But I would go with the SE Hunglis 2. And after breaking that knife, I have so much respect for it. I've got to break some other knives now, basically is what has to happen, so that I can know where their failing point is. Because I know with the SE Hunglis 2 that I will never break it. Unless there's a manufacturing defect, there's always a problem, which is why everybody needs to baton with their knives. If you have a manufacturing defect and you're out there batoning with your blade, the chances are you will find out in a situation that is not life or death. And if it breaks as a manufacturing defect, now you can send it back in a situation where you're not going to die. Now you take that knife that you know is tough and you've used a lot, and you find yourself in a life or death survival situation, you might not want to baton so much. You might only baton what you have to baton. You're going to want to be real smart with everything that you do, but you know that you can rely on that blade. A lot of people are like, I would only baton as a last ditch. Okay, so your knife has this manufacturing defect. You never know it because you either have it on the shelf your entire life, or you go out and you make some feather sticks with it. Now your life depends on it, and oops, it broke. It had a manufacturing defect the entire time. You never even knew it, but you waited until your life depended on it to find out if it's quality or not. That's a no-go for me. Adam Norwood, I appreciate that a lot, man. And the thing about it is that I wouldn't do these videos on SC if I didn't believe in them. I carry one every day. Right now I'm carrying actually the La Roca EDC. I guess you're probably not going to be able to hardly see it in this light. I'm sorry. But I've got a video on it. Love this knife. So I probably, at this point, I probably carry this about a quarter of the time, and the CR 2.5 3/4 of the time. I freaking love that knife, and I love the sheath from Yellow Hawk Custom Kydex. So, you know, doing videos on Essie, it's easy for me because I trust them, and I think that I wish that I'd gone straight to Essie when I started getting into knives. So it makes it easy for me to do videos on them. So I do. So I'm glad to hear that because you could go through a lot of brands, premium, expensive brands included, spend a lot of money, and end up coming back to Essie. A lot of people do. AG Survival. I 100% understand that. I'm very blessed with my wife, and she's let me go a little bit out of control with the knives. But actually, right now, I've come to Essie. I've had every level and grade of knife, basically, that you can have. And I'm probably pretty much going to have Essies, maybe a couple Beckers, Castrum. I don't know if I'll add more brands on there. I'll probably have some customs, but I'm not going to have so many knives as I do now. And the knives that I have are going to be ones that I love. So, 16 and snowing in Wyoming. Automatically makes me think of Longmire. Later Gator, yes. All life-saving gear you have to use. Now tourniquets, you use it one time, which means if you want to train with it, you buy another one. And once you have a trainer that's marked that never goes anywhere near your actual life-saving medical equipment, you can use it over and over and over again until you break it. But right now I'm using Rat's tourniquets. I've got one for the wife, I've got one for myself, I've got a few extras, and then I have a trainer. And then I'm going to switch over for my everyday carry to Cat's tourniquets, which is a story for another time. But you have to train with this stuff. And I say train with a knife. Training might be watching YouTube videos and going out and practicing with it. But with medical, everybody should have medical training. Just bottom line, there's so many videos where dude and his wife get injured. Dude watches his wife die. Could have saved her if he just knew how to, but instead just watches her die. And then almost dies himself, but gets medical attention. Like, I'm not going to live with that. Nope. Nope, I'm going to get some medical training. So, yeah, Dave at Ultimate Survival Tips, I'm going to do another video on that, because after my video on Instagram, he posted a chopping video of the MSK1, and it's a blatant lie. It's absolutely, I think a lot of his subscribers are kids and stuff, and people that have no idea, and they can't watch the video and just immediately know that it's just worthless crap. And that's a shame, because they should, even though, you know, he's got ninja music playing in the background. It's obvious that it's BS. People are going to go for it, and they're going to spend big money on it. And, you know, I can't sit by as he's taking advantage of people like that. Because I do YouTube, because I got taken advantage of. I took a $300-some knife on deployment. Anytime a knife maker or designer tells you, oh, people are carrying my knife overseas in combat, you can immediately just write them off as bull crappers, because it means nothing, and they're just trying to sell something. But I was the kid, spent over $300, I think $380 on a knife, took it to Afghanistan as a piece of crap. Piece of freaking junk. Made in America. Crap. So, that's why I do YouTube. So, you know, it's personal. Yeah, Holy Roller. That was hard on me. I was at Blade Show that year. So some of those YouTube reviewers that did that, you can see them at my booth, checking out my knife designs that year. And that knife was getting so much attention, and I never understood why. And I'm pretty sure I have the first honest review of that knife on the planet. It's crazy. Adam, I appreciate it, man. You know, I just try and keep it real. And a lot of times with my opinions and viewpoints, I'd probably be better off if I didn't voice them, but then what would be the point of having a YouTube? Because if you share opinions with me, then you know that everybody in the planet is telling you to keep your opinions to yourself. Well, you don't have to. It's the truth. It's what's right. It's what's responsibility. The world doesn't like hearing it. But if you don't share it, who will? Because like, if you share my viewpoints, there have been times where you feel like you're the only person that has them. And there might be other people who have those same viewpoints but are afraid to say anything. That ain't right. So I'm glad that you appreciate that and that I can do that. So, hey guys, I'm going to get out of here tonight. I really appreciate everybody who watched. I'm sorry for getting ranty. Unless you all like that, then I guess I'm not sorry. Just thanks for watching. Next Friday, I'm going to try and be on here. We're going to try and wrap up Operation Survival And Lord willing, we'll get this Lt Wright Genesis out of one of you guys. This channel is awesome because you guys are awesome. I appreciate every single one of you. I hope that you have a blessed night and that you stay safe. And thank you for watching.